My fiancé said, "Come to my place tonight. I have a surprise." When I arrived, everyone yelled, "Happy birthday," to her ex-boyfriend. I just smiled and said, "Happy birthday, man." And then I left. She chased me outside when she remembered that it was my birthday too. What happened next? Complete chaos. Okay, Reddit. I can tell you're already confused. Get your popcorn ready, and I'll tell you what happened. Cole is a 28-year-old man. I work in freight logistics, where I manage the supply routes for pharmaceutical shipments. I thought I knew everything. I have a good career, a nice apartment in the city, and I've been with my fiancée Paige for 2 years. We're getting married in April. Life is flawless, so you don't worry about what could go wrong. We met at a wedding for a friend of ours. She worked in marketing, had her life together, and appeared driven. The first few months were good. She was lively, unpredictable, and kept things interesting. But it moved quickly. Said she loved me after 6 weeks. After 3 months, we started discussing about our future together. I thought she just knew what she wanted, and I loved that about her. There were other little things that I didn't think much of at the time, like how she would sometimes talk about her ex Alec. Not much, just that Alec used to take me to this place or that Alec and I visited there once. I thought everyone had exes. Not a big deal. She claimed they will leave it on good terms and stayed friends. I'm not the jealous kind, so I didn't worry about it. Then there was the fact that she made decisions without even asking me first. She would remark, "We should do this." And then she would just think we were doing it. They once booked a weekend trip without checking to see if I was free. Got angry when I had to work, but I had already paid the deposit. That sort of thing. To avoid the fight, I would typically just go along with it. And she required a lot of proof. Photos all the time for social media. We had to write down everything we did. Our partnership had to seem great on the internet. If I didn't want to take pictures of us as a couple at dinner, she'd become weird. "Why don't you want people to know we're dating?" I thought it was just her age group. Everyone is on their phones regardless. There were several red signs, but nothing that made me want to leave. I thought to myself, everyone has their own quirks. That changed quickly on November 2nd. My phone flashed up on Saturday afternoon. Paige sent me a text. "Come to my house at 7:30 tonight." A big shock. It was the day of my birthday. Clearly, she had something planned. It made sense. I went to the gym in the morning, got lunch, and then went to the store downtown that she liked to get a lovely bottle. Put on black pants and a button-down shirt. Going to her flat on the other side of town. Arrived at 7:29. Yes, I'm the person who always shows up on time. Used my key. The apartment was very dark. When the lights go on and 20 people exclaim, "Surprise!" I'm already preparing how shocked I'll look. There will be balloons on the ceiling and a banner across the living room wall. "Happy 28th birthday, Alec." There was confetti everywhere. People were filming with their phones. Everyone was looking at the guy next to Paige. He was tall, fit, and had a fancy haircut. He held her hand like he owned it. Not me. Alec, her ex-boyfriend. In less than 3 seconds, the party turned into complete quiet. Alec saw me first, still holding her hand. "Hey there." It was like someone pulled a plug and all the color drained out of Paige's face. She opened her mouth. There was nothing. Then, "Oh no, this is something she said about 4 months ago over dinner." My ex's birthday was the same as mine. November 2nd. We had a good chuckle about it. What a funny coincidence. What were the chances? I quickly did the math. She had texted me to come at the same time she had planned the party. Same date at her house. This was done on purpose. There are 20 people watching. Paige stopped moving, as if someone had hit pause. Alec looked like he didn't know what was going on. I stood in the doorway with the bottle, but I didn't make a fuss. I walked over and held out my hand to him. "Man, happy birthday." He shook it and looked back and forth between me and Paige, as if he were trying to figure out a puzzle with missing pieces. After that, I put the bottle on the table beside the door and left. I closed the door behind me and got to my car. I started the motor just as the door burst open and my heels hit the concrete. "Hold on. COLE. Wait." Paige is sprinting in her party dress. Alec was behind her, looking like he suddenly realized he was the joke. I backed up the automobile. She hit my window. I am very sorry. I got the dates mixed up. I thought your birthday was this week. I paused and slid the window down just enough to hear her. You gave your ex-boyfriend a surprise party at your apartment on my birthday, which was 7 months after we got engaged. We're through. No, you can't just leave as I did when I backed out and drove away. The rearview mirror showed her standing there in a fright. People leaving the party looked perplexed as they walked out onto the pavement. Someone is still filming on their phone. Okay, let them make a record. I drove home, parked, and sat in my dark living room, trying to make sense of everything. My phone started to light up like a switchboard. Please answer me, Cole. It was a mistake that was honest. You're going too far. Overreacting. Yes. People who had been at the party started texting me around 11 p.m. Mark, a man I sometimes played basketball with. What the heck just happened, man? Then Nah, who worked with Paige. Are you all right? That was crazy. Another from Neil, a friend of ours. I'm really perplexed. Did you date her or did Alec date her? I got the irony. We were really engaged. The best one came from a number I didn't even have saved. That was the worst party I've ever been to. Alec left around 20 minutes after you did. Paige shut the door to her room. We all just left. What a disaster. I didn't say anything to any of them. I took screenshots of everything and put them in a folder on my phone. I thought it may be useful later, so I sat there and thought about useful things. She had a key to my house. After the wedding, we were going to move in together. She had been steadily moving into my apartment. Her clothes, shoes, books, and half of my closet were in the bathroom. She could get to it. I just made her look bad in front of 20 people. Not very likely that my things will stay in one piece. I opened Google and discovered a locksmith who works all night. Rekey in an emergency. How quickly can you get here? An hour and a half. The cost of overnight service is $420. If you can get here in an hour, I'll give you $500. 45 minutes. I started packing up everything she had left at my apartment while I waited. All of it. I put 6 big boxes at my front entrance, tagged them, and piled them. After that, I went to my safe and took out the ring. The whole thing, including a $8,500 princess cut diamond and white gold band. She chose it herself. She spent 40 minutes at the jeweler making sure it was precisely what she wanted. I put it back in its original box and put it on top of the stack of boxes. The locksmith came around 12:35 a.m. A man named Leon. Not a good night. Improving. By 1 a.m. A new deadbolt and door handle were in place. Leon tried out both keys, gave me the backup ones, collected his $500, and departed without asking anything. A professional person. After that, I sent Paige a text. The ring and everything else you own is packed. You have till this week to pick it up or it will go to Goodwill. Your key doesn't work. Don't do it. I blocked her and switched off my phone. For the first time in months, I slept for 7 hours straight. 7 a.m. On Sunday morning, someone was lying on my doorbell like they were attempting to break a record. I looked through the peephole. Paige and her best friend Tori both looked like they hadn't slept in a long time. Probably had a party and then cried about whatever this was. I opened the door and stood in the frame to keep people out. What? Paige's eyes were swollen and red. We have to talk. You can't just toss away 2 years like this. I really can. Your things are right there. Tori moved forward. She has always been the kind of defender that goes after the ball. This is crazy. She got the dates wrong. You're breaking up because of a calendar mistake. I looked at her. You don't see what the true problem is, do you? Paige started crying. Please, I adore you. We can make this better. I'll do anything. 5 months until the wedding. We already sent the deposits. Take your things. You have until Friday. Where am I supposed to store all of this? I've been living here almost all the time. This is half of my clothes. Work things out. You can't just throw me out. I also live here. The lease doesn't have your name on it. You don't have to pay rent. You're not on the power grid. You have until Friday to get your stuff or I'll give it away. This is against the law. You have to wait 30 days. You want to put that idea to the test? Go ahead. But while your lawyer is explaining tenant law to you, your things will be at Goodwill. I locked the door and shut it. They knocked for another 20 minutes. I heard Tori's voice then. He won't let it out. Let's get going. I got a call from my friend Brett on Sunday afternoon. He knows one of the guys that was at the party. Hey, the tale is spreading around. People are stating that Paige was trying to move up from you to Alec in front of everyone. That's very much what happened. Alex told people she was lying when she said she was single. Said they had been seeing each other for weeks. You told him you two were no longer together. I stopped. This is the first time I've heard about it. Yes, he's very angry. The whole thing is making her seem horrible. Okay. My employer Dean called me into his office on Monday morning. Dean's Old Navy conducts logistics like a military operation. No tolerance for BS. I got a strange call this morning. Your fiancé's mother reported you kicked her daughter out, and she's worried about your mental health. Good. This was the last thing I needed right now. I told them everything that happened at the party. Every little thing. He sat back in his chair. She contacted your job to talk about a breakup. That's a whole new level of desperation. Yes. I told her this isn't work-related and to lose this number, but she might get worse. Thanks for the caution. Dean stopped. You did the right thing for what it's worth. Some guys would have gone crazy. Didn't want to put on a show for anyone. Clever. Let me know if this becomes worse. HR needs to know if harassment is still going on. When I got home on Monday night, there were new scratches surrounding my new deadbolt. Very deep ones. I looked at the footage from my security camera. Paige at 5 o'clock, attempting her old key, then trying to break it, and finally looking around before leaving. Tuesday a.m. Number not known. You have to give me back my key. I said, no way. Come get your stuff. I can't move all that by myself. You need to help me. You've got until Friday. I'm calling the police. You're holding my stuff hostage. Go ahead. While you're at it, explain why you tried to break into my apartment yesterday. There was no response. A call from Dean came in that afternoon. Your ex's mom called again, but this time from a different number. Said the same thing to her. She stated the next thing she's going to do is call corporate. She doesn't have the number for the company. She will find it. Just wanted to let you know. Write down everything. And I did. Made a spreadsheet. What was said, when, and how it was spoken. I thought I should keep records if this was becoming worse. Wednesday night at 6:30. Please knock on my door. There were 2 cops, a young male, and an elderly woman who looked fatigued. We got a call regarding a problem at home, sir. Your fiancée says you won't give her things back. I showed them everything. Text messages, the background of the breakup, and surveillance footage of her trying to get in. Her things were neatly packed in labeled boxes just at the door. There is a ring on top of the box. She has a key that doesn't work anymore because she tried to break in after we broke up. I told her she had till Friday. You have 5 days to pick up 6 boxes. The female police officer looked at the boxes, then at her companion, then at me. This is more than fair, sir. People usually just put things on the curb. She called Paige on the radio. Your things are packed and in order, ma'am. You have until Friday. We can't make him do anything else. Screaming through the radio, loud. The man in the police car winced. The female police officer sighed into her radio. If you don't pick up your things by Friday, ma'am, he can legally throw them away. That's how the law works in California. I think you should set up a pickup. The mailman gave me his card. Call us directly if she comes back and causes more trouble. My phone rang after they left. A new number. Her mom. How could you call the cops on my daughter? She made the call. I told them that her things are ready to travel. You have ruined her. She has no place to go. You owe her a stable life. I don't have to do anything for her. She can bring her things to her flat. She no longer has her flat. She gave notice because you two were getting married and moving in together. That news hit me like a blow to the belly. What? She told her landlord 30 days in advance that she would be moving in after the engagement party. Half the time she's been living with you. Last week her lease came to an end. I never said yes to that. We spoke about living together once we got married. 5 months from now. For months you talked about it. She thought that meant they had come to an agreement. Talking and agreeing are two words that mean distinct things. It's not my problem. The deadline is still Friday. I hung up. That night, I looked over the old text messages between Paige and me. Looked for anything that said anything about moving in. We talked about how we would eventually live together and combine our households once we get married and find a bigger property next year. There is nothing about moving in before the wedding. She didn't say anything about quitting her lease early. She had made a big financial choice based on what she thought. That wasn't my fault. Her ex-boyfriend contacted on Thursday morning. A buddy of both of ours gave Alec my number. Hey dude, I know you don't want to hear from me, but I had to let you know. She said she had broken off the engagement 2 weeks before the party. She said she wanted to get back in touch with me. I didn't know you two were still together until you came in. I took a seat. Say that again. She stated she was single, that she had called off the wedding, and that she wanted to try again with me. We had been getting together for coffee for about 3 weeks. As soon as you got there, I knew she had been lying to both of us. Stop. So, she threw the party to show everyone that she was moving on from me to you. So that's what it looks like now. Silence on the other end. I departed right after you did. Don't want to become involved in this mess. But she's been texting me a lot. I'm not answering. I just wanted to let you know. Thanks for it. Just so you know, I would never have agreed to any of this if I had known the reality. Dude, it's okay. Email from the building management on Thursday afternoon. A complaint has been made about noise coming from Unit 412. I phoned the office. What is this all about? An anonymous complaint says that there was yelling and fighting coming from your unit yesterday night about midnight. I fell asleep by myself at 11. Look at your entry logs. My ex-fiancée is bothering me. We need to check. Look at your logs. I got home around 6:45 and stayed there. No one came in. The complaint is not true. They called back after checking. You're right. We'll keep this in mind. Any complaints that come in after this will be marked as suspicious. 9 a.m. On Friday, her mom and her friend Tori came with a rented truck. I allowed them in. There are still boxes by the door. Her mother got to work right away. This is mean and cruel. You made my daughter homeless. I stood with my arms folded against the wall and didn't say anything. Because you asked her to marry you, she gave up her flat. She had faith in you. Nothing yet. You could at least assist load this. I gazed at her. I already wasted time putting everything together. I'm not putting it in either. They began to carry boxes. Her mom kept talking about me and my future karma. Tori joined in. I stood there looking at my phone and periodically looking up to make sure they weren't taking anything that wasn't in the crates. Tori picked up one package and opened it to see what was inside. These are merely clothes. Where is her laptop? She didn't leave one here. She asked, do you have it? No. Everything that was here is in those boxes. When they picked up the ring box, Paige's mother opened it and looked at the ring. This is hers. She worked hard for it. That's not how things work here. It's a gift with conditions. The wedding isn't going to happen. Put the ring down. I told her she could keep it. I took out my phone. Okay, go ahead. Take it. I'll just report the theft of a $8,500 ring and let the court handle it. I have the receipt, the appraisal, and the insurance papers all in my name. She stared at me, then at the ring, put the box down, and kept loading in quiet. Her mother turned around as they were leaving. You'll wish you hadn't done this. She is hiring a lawyer. You will pay for what you did to her life. Sure, why not? I will wait. I walked around the whole flat after they departed. Checked to see if anything of mine was missing. Everything is taken care of. A certified letter came on Saturday afternoon. Letterhead from a law firm. Standing at my kitchen counter, I opened it. $12,500 demand. Breakdown: $4,100 for moving costs, $2,600 for storage unit fees, and $5,800 for emotional pain and damage to reputation. The letter said I had promised to live with someone verbally. She had relied on these assurances when she ended her lease, and I had broken them on purpose, hurting her financially and emotionally very badly. Said, I took a picture of the letter and submitted it to a lawyer that my coworker had suggested. A man named Miles who worked on family law cases. He called me back after 20 minutes. "This is crazy. I'll write a response." An hour later, I got his return letter in my inbox. "Your customer ended her own lease without making plans for where she would live next. My client never agreed to live together. Your claims are not valid. Any more contact will be seen as harassment and will be dealt with legally." After sending it, Miles called me. "Keep writing everything down. You will need it." "That's what I'm doing." "Okay." Miles called me on Monday afternoon. I got a call from her lawyer. "They want to talk things over." I said no to them. "But listen to this. If you pay for the move, they say they would remove the mental distress claim." "No way." That's what I said. They pushed back. I hung up the phone. 2 detectives came to my door on Wednesday morning. "We need to talk about a report of theft. Missing devices from the home of your ex-fiancée. I've never been to her place. She would sometimes stay at my house. I packed up everything that was here. She picked it up. I have video from security cameras. I gave them the video with the timestamp. Tori and her mom put boxes into the rented truck." The elder detective put his notes away. "We'll get back to you. Charges may apply if this report is not true." On Thursday morning, the building's security called. "There's a woman in the lobby who needs to see you right away. Don't let her go. I'll take care of it." Went down. Paige with her mom. Somehow they had gotten past the guard at the main desk. Paige started right away. "My parents' house was visited by the cops. They alleged that I made up a report. I didn't. You took my things." Her mom stepped up. "You're bothering my daughter. You break into her house and then contact the cops. She broke her own lease. And she made up a story. That's her fault." 2 guards came up. "Please lower your voice, ma'am." Paige had red eyes. "Please let me stay with you for 2 weeks while I look for an apartment. Please." "No." She cried. "I hate you." "I know." Security came in. "Ladies, it's time to go." They were let out. I went back up to the 2nd floor. 30 minutes later, my supervisor called me into his office. "Your ex-fiancée's mother has called you 3 times. She says you're scaring her daughter." That afternoon, I spent an hour with HR explaining what was going on. I showed them my papers, texts, emails, surveillance footage, and police records. Her camp even tried to make a scene in a store. In less than a minute, security walked her out. The HR manager looked over everything. "This is quite detailed. We'll write it down in your file. We'll take legal action if she gets in touch with the company again." Friday evening, Alec texted, "Heads up. She's telling everyone you got her evicted and police are investigating you for theft." Neither is true. Figured. Just thought you should know it's making the rounds. Saturday afternoon, I ran into Mark from the party. We'd played basketball a few times. Decent guy. He asked what was the real story and if Paige was actually facing charges. I explained the false police report, the investigation closing it as unfounded. That makes more sense. Mark said her version didn't add up, but that video from the party is circulating. Someone posted it in the group chat. 20 people saw exactly what happened. She can lie all she wants. Beautiful. Sunday night, 2:30 a.m. Something woke me up. Loud crash, glass breaking. I grabbed my phone, turned on lights, the living room window shattered, brick on my floor, called police. They came, took a report. No witnesses, no camera angle on that side of the building. The responding officer looked at the brick. "Any previous reports?" 3. Building security has documentation. She tried to break in last week. I'll note the connection, but without cameras or witnesses. Not much we can do tonight. Filed an insurance claim Sunday morning. $850 deductible. Building management called. We saw the police report. We're adding cameras to that side of the building. Should be installed by Wednesday. I figured that would be the end of it. But Monday morning, this happened. I came down to the parking garage for work and I froze when I saw this. My 2021 Dodge Charger RT looked like it had been through a war zone. All 4 tires slashed. Not punctured. Slashed. Long cuts. Both side mirrors ripped off completely. Abuser keyed across the entire driver's side. Hood doors all the way to the rear quarter panel. Deep gouges through the black paint down to bare metal. The windshield had a massive crack spider webbing across it. Both passenger windows smashed in. I'd only had the Charger for 10 months. Still making payments on it. Stood there for a minute just taking it in. Building security showed up. Geez, when did this happen? Sometime between midnight and now. I parked here around 11 o'clock last night. Let's check the cameras. We reviewed footage in the security office. Coverage was spotty in the garage. Lots of blind spots, but we caught something. 3:45 a.m. Figure in a black hoodie entering through the stairwell. Couldn't see the face. Wrong angle, but the body type and movement looked familiar. About 5 feet 6 inches in slight build. Moved quickly but nervously. I kept looking around. Building pulled stairwell door access timestamps that matched the entry/exit window on the footage. No guest fob used for my floor. It was a tailgate. The timing lined up with the damage window on my car. Spent approximately 18 minutes near my car. Too dark to see details of what they were doing, but the timeline matched. Left the same way they came in. A stairwell camera caught them leaving at 4 a.m. I called my insurance company. They sent out an adjuster that afternoon. He circled the Charger twice, taking photos, making notes. This is extensive. We're looking at around $7,300 in damages. My stomach dropped. Can it be fixed? Yeah, but it'll take time. Paint work alone is a couple weeks. The keying went deep. We'll need to repaint most of the driver's side. Both windows, mirrors, windshield, all 4 tires. You've got $1,000 deductible. Yeah. I'll process the claim today. We'll arrange a rental. $7,300 in damages according to the body shop estimate. I took photos of everything. Filed a police report. Called Miles. Document everything. Photos. Police report. Estimates. We might need this. Think we can prove it was her. Body type matches. Timeline matches. She knows where you park, but that hoodie makes it hard to prove definitively. Did the police dust for prints? They're coming back tomorrow to do that. Good. Tuesday morning. New text from unknown number. Stop ruining my life or it gets worse. Screenshot sent to Miles and police. File for a restraining order. Miles said this is threatening behavior. Police came back Tuesday afternoon. Dusted the car for fingerprints. Found some on the driver's side door handle and one of the broken mirrors. We'll run these. If they match anyone in the system, we'll contact you. Wednesday morning, the initial hearing. Paige had filed for a restraining order against me. Harassment, stalking, threatening behavior. The irony wasn't lost on me. The judge heard both sides for a temporary ruling. I showed up with Miles. She was there with her lawyer and her mother. The judge reviewed her petition. You claim the defendant is stalking you. Yes, Your Honor. He appears places I go. He's trying to intimidate me. Evidence? He was at the grocery store last week when I was there. The judge looked unimpressed. Public location. Anything else? He got me evicted. I'm homeless because of him. How did he accomplish this eviction? We were going to live together. I ended my lease. Then he called off the wedding and kicked me out. The judge looked at me. Did you agree to cohabitation before the wedding? No, Your Honor. We discussed living together after the wedding. 5 months from now. She ended her lease without confirming I'd agreed to change that timeline. The judge looked at Paige. So, you made a housing decision based on assumption rather than confirmation. He led me on. We talked about it. Verbal discussions without confirmation don't constitute binding agreements. Judge flipped pages. You also filed a police report claiming theft. He stole my laptop. According to the investigating detective's report, all your property was accounted for and collected. The case was closed as unfounded. Were you aware filing a false police report is a crime? Paige's face went pale. The judge looked at me. Anything to add? Miles stood. Your Honor, my client has been continuously harassed by the petitioner. She's contacted his workplace 3 times, appeared at his office building, filed a demonstrably false police report, vandalized his vehicle causing $7,300 in damage, broke his window with a brick, and sent threatening messages. We have documentation and witness statements. Miles handed over the evidence file, security footage, police reports, text screenshots, work incident documentation, photos of my destroyed Charger. The judge spent 5 minutes reviewing, looked up at Paige. Ms. Chun, I'm denying your petition for lack of merit. I'm issuing a temporary protective order in favor of the defendant pending the full hearing in 2 weeks. Maintain 100 yards from him, his residence, and his workplace. No contact, direct or indirect. Paige was crying. This isn't fair. He destroyed my life. Court adjourned. 2 weeks later at the full hearing, the judge reviewed the same stack of evidence, denied her petition again, and granted my restraining order for 3 years with the same distance and no contact terms. Violation equals arrest. Outside, her mother screamed across the parking lot. You've ruined her. Miles stepped between us. Ma'am, you're witnessed. Walk away. They left. Miles and I stood by his car. That went better than expected. What happens now? She's bound by that restraining order, but document everything anyway in case she violated the order. How about the car damage? We'll pursue that separately. Civil suit. We've got the threatening text, the pattern of behavior, and the timing. Even without definitive proof she did it, we can make a strong case. 6 days after the restraining order, Paige violated it, shocking no one. She got into my apartment building by following a resident through the security door. Made it to my floor. Started banging on my door at 11 p.m. I didn't open it. I called building security while watching her through the peephole. They called police. She was arrested in the hallway, still banging on my door when the cops showed up. Spent the night in county jail. The judge kept the 3-year order in place and put her on 6 months probation. The arraignment was quick. She pleaded no contest. The judge was not amused. You were given clear instructions 6 days ago. You violated those instructions. You're fortunate I'm not imposing jail time. 6 months probation. If you violate this order again, you will serve time. But here's where I stopped being nice about it. I filed a civil suit. $7,300 for the Charger damage, $850 for the window, $500 for the emergency locksmith, $1,100 for my lawyer's fees. So far, total $9,750. Miles filed it Thursday. We have the threatening text, the pattern, the timing right after the breakup, and her violation of the restraining order showing disregard for legal boundaries. It's a strong case. Her lawyer contacted Miles trying to settle, offering $3,000. Tell them $9,750 or we go to court and I add emotional distress to match her original demand letter. They came back with $5,500. $9,750. Final offer. We have everything documented. Miles called me with updates. They're hesitating. Her lawyer knows she doesn't have a defense, but she's probably broke from legal fees. Not my problem. Agreed. I'll push harder. They agreed to $8,800. Payment plan over 4 months. First payment due in 2 weeks or the full amount becomes immediately due and we pursue wage garnishment. Her lawyer dropped her after that. Apparently, she'd been lying to him about multiple things, and he didn't want his name attached to it anymore. The fingerprints from my car came back. No match in the system. Without prints, the hoodie footage wasn't enough for criminal charges. But Miles used it effectively in the civil case. The preponderance of evidence suggests the defendant was responsible. Body type matches. Stairwell timestamps align with the footage. She knew where he parked. Threatening text sent the next day. According to the grapevine, the situation at her parents' house is getting ugly. Her mother is furious about the legal fees, the criminal charge, the civil suit payments. They're fighting constantly. Her father apparently sided with me after seeing all the evidence, which caused a whole separate issue. Brett told me her dad came to one of the basketball games specifically to talk to me. He apologized, said his wife and daughter had been feeding him a completely different story. When he saw the police reports and court documents, he realized they'd been lying. He wanted you to know he doesn't blame you. Her job got complicated, too. She works in marketing for a mid-size company. Word got around about the arrest, the restraining order violation, the false police report. HR had a meeting with her about how her personal conduct was reflecting on the company. They put her on a performance improvement plan, which is corporate speak for one more problem and you're gone. Alec wants nothing to do with her. She tried contacting him a dozen times after everything exploded. He blocked her on everything and told mutual friends she'd used him as part of some scheme. Most of her friend group dissolved. The party guests saw what happened firsthand. The video someone took circulated. Alec confirmed she'd lied about being single. The false police report and arrest sealed it. She went from having a decent social circle to being mostly isolated. Her reputation in our mutual social circles is toast. Now it's been 4 months since the party. Here's where everything landed. Paige is still living with her parents in her childhood bedroom. She's 27 years old, sharing a bathroom with her teenage brother. According to mutual friends, she's looking for apartments, but her credit took a hit from the legal fees and civil suit payments, making it harder to find places that'll approve her. She's still employed, but barely. The performance improvement plan at work means she's under constant scrutiny. Any mistake gets documented. She's basically waiting to get fired. The $8,800 payment plan wrapped for monthly payments cleared on schedule. If she'd missed one, the full remaining balance would have come due, and we'd have started wage garnishment. Miles set it up that way on purpose. The 3-year restraining order is active. She can't come near me, my building, or my workplace. Can't contact me directly or through third parties. Violation means arrest and jail time. She's already got 1 violation on record, so any future violation would result in actual sentencing rather than just probation. Her social life is non-existent. The friend group collapsed. She's blocked by most people from that circle. The ones who still talk to her apparently do it out of pity more than actual friendship. Alec's been vocal about the whole situation. He's told people she manipulated both of us, lied about her relationship status, and used him as an exit strategy. That story spread fast. Nobody wants to date someone with that reputation. Actually ran into the guy about 3 weeks ago at a sports spot. He picked up the check for wings. Bro, I owe you an apology. I had no idea what she was doing. You were played same as me. Still, that whole situation was messed up. He shook his head. She tried contacting me again last week, created a fake Instagram account to get around the blocks, sent me this long message about how we were meant to be together, and I just needed to give her another chance. We ended up watching the game together, grabbed food after. He's a decent guy. Neither of us wanted this drama. Now, we grab drinks occasionally, which is funny considering where we started. Me, I'm doing fine. Better than fine. Got my charger fixed. Insurance covered most of it after the deductible. Looks brand new. Added more security cameras around my apartment. Upgraded the building security system in the garage. My boss Dean pulled me aside about 2 months after everything settled. HR closed the file on your situation. Everything's documented if it comes up again, but officially you're clear. Also, I'm putting you up for senior logistics coordinator. You handled this whole mess without letting it affect your work. That shows character. Got the promotion 3 weeks later. $12,000 raise. New title. More responsibility, but I was ready for it. Living alone is peaceful. No drama, no surprise parties for ex-boyfriends. No one ending leases without confirming housing plans. Just me, my space, my schedule. The wedding I was supposed to have in April. That month is coming up in a few weeks. When April arrives, I'll be in Sacramento for a work conference. Probably won't think about it much. Living my best life. Brett already texted asking if I was okay about the approaching date. Apparently, Paige has been posting cryptic things on social media about what could have been, and people are concerned about me. I'm fine. I'll be in a hotel room reviewing shipping manifests and eating room service. The ring, I sold it. Got $7,200 for it. Used part of that money to upgrade my home office setup and take a weekend trip to Portland. Much better use of $8,000 than sitting in a drawer. Paige's mother still occasionally tries to cause problems. She called my work one more time about 2 months after everything settled. Dean forwarded her to our legal department. They sent her a cease and desist letter. Haven't heard from her since 4 months ago. I walked into a surprise birthday party for someone else. Today, she's the one surprised by how completely her life fell apart from one decision. People ask if I'm angry about it. Honestly, I'm grateful. She showed me exactly who she was before I married her. Before we bought a house, before we had kids, before I was stuck with someone who throws parties for ex-boyfriends. Got a text from Miles last week. Final payment cleared. Case closed. Good luck with everything. Replied. Appreciate everything you did. So that's it. She gave me the gift of clarity. Just not the way she intended. Happy birthday to me. The best thing I did was dodging that bullet. Guys, we are so close to hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 1,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come.